Hey guys, this is Ariana from FootyStats, and in this video, I will explain the stats provided by FootyStats for over 1.5 goals and how they can be used to make accurate predictions. In this video, I'll be explaining each table and how to use these stats while you place your bet. Over 1.5 goals is a betting market that includes the total number of goals scored by both teams in a match. It is a pretty simple betting market since to win this bet, 2 or more goals must be scored during the duration of the game. We provide a list of the teams with the highest over 1.5 stats, matches with the highest over 1.5 goals percentage, as well as the leagues with the most over 1.5 goals. Our users can get this data to make more informed decisions on their next over 1.5 goals bet. Now let's dive into our stats and learn how to use them to make more accurate predictions. This first table only includes teams that have matches left in the season. As of the current season, the following teams have the highest over 1.5 goal stats. The first 17 teams listed below have 100% historical occurrences of over 1.5 goals, which means that in the matches they played this season, 2 or more goals have been scored during the game. We can get a good idea whether the team is a good bet based on the team's goal performance. Let's take a look at one of the teams listed on this table, which for today we have Martigues. We can take a look at their home and away goals and the team's goal scored stats to see where the team tends to score higher. In all 12 out of 12 matches played by Martigues this season, the overall goals scored by them gives us a figure of 1.67 goals per match. If we look at the average full times goals scored by Martigues, the overall over 1.5 is 50%, while the average goals conceded is 33%. We can also take a look at their over-under goals. The total number of goals scored and conceded for every game played by Martigues in this season ended with an average of 3 goals per match. Based on these figures, I would consider betting on one of their upcoming fixtures since they have a pretty good chance of scoring over 2 goals in their games. Now let's go on back to our main page. So our second table provides you with the list of the fixtures starting within the next 48 hours and the highest over 1.5 occurrences. In general, a match with a high over 1.5 goals percentage and high average goals is a safer bet. By clicking on these fixtures, we can get more stats and view their BTTS percentage. For this match playing in 2 days, Walsall versus Carlisle United, their BTTS percentage is 50% and the average goal scored between both teams is 3 goals per match. Although the BTTS percentage is not that high, their over 1.5 percentage and average goals scored and conceded is pretty good. Now, there are a number of games which result in a team scoring more than 3 goals without conceding any goal. In such cases, their over 1.5 percentage will be high, but their BTTS rate will not be as good. As a result, while placing a bet on over 1.5 goals, it is better to cross-reference the over 1.5 goals percentage and the average number of goals scored or conceded by them. Adding on to this, the odds for this match is 1.45, which is pretty good as well considering the odds for the other matches listed on this table. These odds are calculated by bookmakers using a number of statistics, such as their goals scored, goals conceded, recent form, and much more. In their head-to-head record, it appears that 13 out of 17 matches have resulted in over 1.5 goals. Keeping all these points in mind, I would consider placing my bet on this match. However, to be more firm in my decision, I could also take a deeper look into their home and away stats. Since Walsall is playing at home in the next match, we can take a look at their home stats and field to score percentage at home, while we can take a look at the away stats for the opposing team to get a more accurate view on this team's performance to make better predictions. Carlisle United also seems to have an average of 1.9 goals per match when they played at away and score at least 1 goal in 70% of their matches. In this case that you feel pretty confident with these stats and decide to place a $50 wager on this match seeing 2 or more goals, with an odds of 1.45, you can potentially win $22.50 with a payout of $72.50. Now let's move on to our third table. So this table shows us the leagues with the highest average for over 1.5 goals. We can also find the average number of goals scored per match in each league. The table shows us the leagues that are currently underway and have played 25% or more of their matches. Our stats only include leagues that have played at least a quarter of their games in order to ensure larger sample sizes. Now let's click on one of the leagues and check what we can find in the league's detailed stats. Taking a look at the British Virgin Islands National League and scrolling down to their over 1.5 stats, we can see that all 11 teams have 100% over 1.5. It looks like Rebels also has a high BTTS percentage, as well as high average goals and conceded goals, so the probability of scoring more than 2 goals in a match played by them is pretty high. In order to be more sure about your bet, you can also look at the stats of the other team's performance in the league and get an idea of the overall consistency in terms of the over 1.5 percentage. These are pretty much things that I look for in placing over 1.5 bets. Another tip is to view the player stats, since the team's ability to score a goal also depends on the players playing in that game. Teams with weak defense and strong attackers are more likely to score over 1.5 goals. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching till the end. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback, feel free to reach out to our Twitter or YouTube.